Sometimes it's really, really hard to talk about your own songs because when you're asked, well, what is this song about? You're like, well, I wrote the song, and that's what it's about. There's kind of two elements to Shalom. There's one element of me feeling super vulnerable and being afraid that I'm not going to measure up in some way, or that I'm behind the curve in comparison to peers, or I'm behind the curve in comparison to my own unrealistic expectations of myself. And then there's this flip side of seeing this narrative in myself and realizing, man, in some ways that's like culturally impregnated within me, that there's this increasing push in our culture that we are just all supposed to not feel all right.
Are you just filming me eating my sandwich?
Yeah, how is it?
It's a delicious sandwich.
Good.
It started very moody. It started as a very different feel than the finished product, and I like it in both of its contexts. I think in its current context, it makes the most sense and it works most with the messages of the song and the album, and it's just really fun.
That sound right?
Can you play it again?
Let me do another one. Let me do a few here.
I've always liked this song because I think Graham gets really vulnerable in it in a cool way. I think he voices a lot of fears that we all have, and voices a lot of insecurities that we all feel.
I think something that's been really good maybe in the last, 30, 50 years of culture is, I think we as a country are trending more and more towards open conversation about things going on in our head and in our heart. But at the same time, I think that we have an increasing refusal to be met with the goodness and kindness of Christ's redemption.
Abby, if you had to go penguin or seal, what would you be?
Penguin.
Questions.
They're Graham questions. I'm surprised we haven't gotten any yet. It was a whole day. We didn't get any Graham questions.
I would just like to spice up life with some fun questions.
Let's do.
Cut them a break, they don't have to be God.
Yeah, that was a little
too, yeah.
Oh, bring me heed.
Okay.
Drink thy mead. I had a friend that said every song I wrote had medieval melodies, and he'd always be like, "Oh!" I'm just like, sorry.
Middle ages, good time to be alive.
It really was. You lived to be 22. Everything was perfect.
Yep.
When did it become cool to be hopeless? When did we find ourselves by being out of place? Sometimes.
For you personally, is there any, even though I wrote a lot of the lyrics for it, is there any line that kind of especially resonates with you on a personal level?
Honestly, not really. I think Graham and I are very different people, and that's a good thing. But I think Graham a lot of times wrestles with, because of his personality, I think he wrestles with a lot of questions of, a lot of times his insecurities can be centered around, like, will people love this? Like, will people love what I'm doing? Will people, accept who I am? And I think I'm just a little bit different in personality, but what I love about this song is always at its core was pointing back towards that the hope if I feel these insecurities, like Graham talked a lot about, like, what are the narratives that I have in my own life that I tell myself and that make me feel really insecure about who I am and where I'm going. But what is the larger narrative that my life is situated in, that the narrative of truth, and that can really wipe away all of our insecurities.
Nothing missing now, nothing broken. Heal me found when I think that you forgot. Nothing missing now, nothing broken. Say you are when I know I'm not. Make a scene to show you